and just crying to my mom. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. I'm terrified.
Really?
Because Idol had actually reached out to me.
Yeah.
From like the TikTok videos.
It's like the TikTok. Do I call LA or do they call me? You literally got that.
But well, because I don't know. I always feel weird saying that. But like, I do want to make it clear. It's not like I was like, I want to sing in front of like all these people.
Sure.
Like, of course I would want to, but I did not have the confidence to do that. Like,
Yeah.
I was horrified. I had the worst stage fright.
Where'd you get the confidence then?
I didn't. Like, I was like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. To the actual podcast.
Does it sound crispy?
Yeah.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
The technology we have here at WKYC, man, and local news, it's outstanding.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely. All right, well, I would like to first welcome my new friend, Mary Jo Young. We've had a little bit of technical difficulties, so we've been able to get to know each other a little bit more, so it's been fun.
It has been fun.
Man, I'll tell you
what.
what.
I love technical difficulties.
Yeah, because technical difficulties are an opportunity to where you can get to know people.
Exactly.
And look at us rock and
roll.
roll.
Where there's technical difficulties, there's friendships to be made.
Friendships to be made all over the place. It also gave me an insight into knowing that, yes, you might be a singer, but you're not a diva. Because thank you for that.
Thank you.
Can confirm Mary Jo Young, not a diva. But for those of you who don't know Mary Jo, I mean, super talented singer. You might have seen her on American Idol, signed with Atlantic Records. You're 22 years old. You're just absolutely killing it. You're got like 1.5 million, 1.3. I don't want to sell you too short. 1.3 on TikTok.
Let's just say 3 million so people think it's 3 million.
She has 50 million followers on TikTok.
Manifestation, baby.
Manifestation. Let's rock and roll. Oh my goodness. Well, but also, I think the most important thing is to add to the rap sheet is Clevelander.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Big time. Big time.
A little bit of behind the curtain here. There's like 2 feet of snow that just came down this morning, and I was kind of thinking like maybe she won't come in because you're East Sider, right?
It's kind yeah, but I didn't mind it. I mean, okay.
Just got Cleveland in your blood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was ready. I've been in LA.
Yeah.
So I haven't gotten to enjoy the snow. So I'm like, oh yeah, let's tackle these roads. I got this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There was a recent thing that came out on Instagram of someone who moved here from Arizona, and it was like the first snow a few weeks ago, and she was like crying. She's like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And all the comments were like, give it a few weeks. Give it a few weeks. Yeah.
I was driving and I was thinking, I was like, it's so pretty, the snow, and then I'm like, wait, it gets so ugly so fast, though. Because in movies, they only show it looking pretty, but then they don't show when it's like, all the dirt and everything, all the dog pee.
Yeah, no.
It gets gross real quick.
You want to stay away from the yellow snow for sure. But I love the snow this time of year. I also feel like such a hack reporter starting off with weather, but that's okay. We are talking, I love snow up until about mid-February. And then I'm like, peace out.
Yeah. But that's why it's nice having seasons, because you're always looking forward to the next season.
Totally.
But then at the very end of every one of them, you get so tired of it.
Sure. Yeah.
That's what I noticed.
Now, living in LA, how long have you lived out there for?
Well, so I don't really live out there, but I was just out there for 2.5 months. And like before that, I usually go about every other month and stay for a month.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 weeks to a month.
And you came back right now for the holiday season, things like that?
Yeah, pretty much. Then I have a wedding this weekend.
Okay.
And then I think I'm going to move out there probably March, it's looking like.
Sure. What's that going to be like for you? Are you excited about it? Or are you like a little like afraid to leave home? Or what is that kind of like? Is it bittersweet?
I get really homesick. And I didn't know that I did until I moved to Nashville for 8 months to try that out, moved right back to Cleveland. I was like, I can't move yet.
Was this before the singing career or was
No, this was during. This was probably last year.
Sure.
And then I was like, okay, let's try this out. For Los Angeles, I've been traveling there the last 2 years on and off, so it was so much easier.
Yeah.
I feel like to get adjusted, whereas Nashville, it was an impulse because I was like, I was born in Knoxville, Tennessee, so I figured that it was going to be a lot like that, and it wasn't. And I thought, okay, it has all 4 seasons, and I can drive back to Cleveland. The problem was I could drive back to Cleveland, so I would drive back to Cleveland every single weekend.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, this is your career, Mary Jo. Like, And now I'm just fully in it and ready.
Sure, good for you. And,
Yeah.
and is it because, moving out to LA is because maybe a combination of different things? Is it more like you found your home there, you found your friends there, where maybe it was a little bit different in Nashville, or is it literally just the distance or maybe you're more ready to take the leap into your career?
Yeah, well, I think with Nashville, I made friends there and I really liked it, but I think in LA I had more time to adjust to like creating like a community down there and getting used to not having seasons and everything, and seeing what cities I like and where I could live. It's just like I had a lot more time to adjust.
Yeah, no, I get that.
But definitely the distance. That's like a big thing why I'm nervous.
Sure. I mean, I love seasons too, but I love the good seasons, like the warm ones, and then make it a little bit of winter. Spring for me is just throw it away. I don't need it.
Yeah, spring is kind of, I love spring, but at the same time, it's kind of like it's nice outside, but it's always wet.
So
so it's like,
or especially here in Cleveland, I'm from Northern Illinois, and it was kind of the same thing where it was like 30 or 75, and then like going back and forth of this. But speaking of LA, you just got back a few weeks ago, come back to celebrate the holidays. So what are you primarily doing out there? Are you like recording? Are you writing? Are you just meeting with people and just like really trying to immerse yourself into the business?
Yeah, basically it's just a ton of meetings and a ton of recording like every day and writing. We're just about to sign a publishing deal actually for writing, so I've been doing a lot of that. Yeah.
So are you trying to, so it would be you writing for other artists?
Yeah, it's like that, but then it's also if, like I've written like probably over 100 songs in the last like 8 months.
Sure.
And we have a group of songs and we're like, okay.
That seems like a lot. Seems like a lot of songs.
It was a lot of songs. And I was like, well, some of these aren't my artistry. That's when I was finding myself. So if I don't want those songs, I can pitch them to other artists, and they're songs that I have written. Sure. Maybe with a couple other people in the room, but they're for me, and now I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I do love to kind of see when artists do that, because it's interesting to see that like Ed Sheeran does it a lot. Like, Julia Michaels has done this a lot too. I mean, like all of these different artists, it's really kind of fun to see like, oh, you wrote that and then handed it to this person. Like the one that I like is Ed Sheeran wrote, and if you think love yourself, love yourself, and gave it to Justin Bieber. Yeah. And it's just like things like that are really interesting to see. So do you kind of see yourself trying to do more of the writing aspect along with, singing into this as well?
No, I think definitely much more of an artist, but being able to write my own songs more, which I've been doing anyway. But kind of creating for other artists too that's always a fun thing. Yeah. You go into a session, and if it's for me, then I'm totally writing for me. But if they ask, hey, MJ, do you want to go into this session with this other artist, help write for them, then I'm totally down for that too. Yeah. Because sometimes it's cool if they're a new artist and they don't feel comfortable writing their own story, and like you can help kind of figure out their story with them in a way that they can deliver. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does. Okay. Yeah, trying to find someone's voice.
Yeah,
or build that rapport.
Exactly. Or if you want to write a song and you don't want to come out with it because it's too vulnerable, then another artist can sing it and it still be something you had written. Yeah,
I mean, it's interesting to me that you are pretty young into this business, 22 years old. You kind of got your start on American Idol at 19. I mean, in those 2 to 3 years, how have you developed your writing skills? Because writing is hard, and especially writing music, you're adding another piece of writing onto it. Yeah. How have you been able to morph that?
It was so weird. So when I was little, I would write probably when I was like 7 years old. Yeah. Like I would just lay down, and I always have written. And then I kind of stopped for a little bit, and then I'd always go back into it. So I think I always had this like thing for it. Like I always knew. Sure, like a knack for it. Yeah. So I was kind of, I just always did it. And then once I started going into sessions, I didn't know that I was like allowed to kind of participate in writing. So after Idol, when I started doing these sessions with other producers and writers, I was like, oh, there's like a headliner or oh my gosh, why am I blanking? No? Head writer? Okay, I can't remember. Like a head writer and then head writer. Like there's a word for it. So there's like a hierarchy in writing when you sit down to do a top liner. A top liner. Top liner. Write it down, ladies and gentlemen. So there's a top liner, and then like the producers can write a little bit too, and the artist. But I always thought, okay, I can't write. But then I realized, oh my gosh, wait, when I started thinking like of little ideas and saying it, and they were like, oh my gosh, that's great, keep going. I realized, oh, I'm supposed to be writing too. And they're kind of training me into feeling more confident in the room to write. And now, and I got like used to that really quickly. Yeah, and there is, I mean, to
there's an unbelievable confidence that you have to be a singer, especially like standing on a stage, thousands of people, you know, add on top of that on TV too with Idol. I love the story to hear that the first time, you know, you have said that you came from a musical family, have been writing for a long, long time.
Yeah.
But the first time that you ever sang in front of people happened to just be like three of the most famous singers of all time, of Luke Bryan, Katy Perry, and Lionel Richie at American Idol. I mean, what was that like for you?
Oh my gosh, it was traumatizing in the most beautiful way. I remember waking up and just crying to my mom, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. I'm terrified.
Really?
Because Idol had actually reached out to me.
Yeah.
From like the TikTok videos.
It's like the TikTok. Do I call LA? Or do they call me? You literally got that.
But because I don't know. I always feel weird saying that. But like, I do want to make it clear. It's not like I was like, I want to sing in front of like all these people.
Sure.
Of course I would want to, but I did not have the confidence to do that. Like,
Yeah.
I was horrified. I had the worst stage fright.
Where'd you get the confidence then?
I didn't. I was like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I had just my videos were doing well, so my team that I had just started working with was like, hey, it's COVID. No one's gonna be doing live performances. Idol's still going. Like X Factor, like AGT, they're all like reaching out there, like do one of these shows. But Idol seemed the most like on it.
Sure.
So I was like, okay. And then I just did it, and I was, yeah.
That's wild.
I don't know if that was a good answer.
No, that was phenomenal. But then afterwards, you know, you sing in front of the judges. You absolutely kill it. I mean, you have one of those voices. And if you're listening to this, go listen to her right now on Spotify. It's one of those voices that, like, you kind of, like, stop in your tracks. You're like, wow, there's, like, so much emotion with it. And you just, like, boom, your voice. I'm not a record person by any stretch of the imagination, but you can tell talent when you see talent. I saw you initially just when you came out with your single Cleveland, and I'm from Cleveland posted the Instagram page, and I was like, I need to talk to that girl. I need to get her on the podcast, and here we are. But going back, it was you on American Idol, you first singing for the first time ever in front of Lionel Richie, you know, Katy Perry, Luke Bryan, and then right after that, they're like, you said you've never sang in front of your mom before, and then they bring your mom in to sing in front of her. What were you more nervous about, singing in front of the three superstars or in front of your mom?
I think the three superstars. My mom, I thought I would be nervous in front of my mom, but for some reason it kind of like calmed me down.
Well, you got a pretty good boost of confidence from three pretty major superstars to go in there.
I like never had trained like singing in front of people when I was nervous, so it's hard to go back and watch it just because like when you nervous sing, you're all like shaky.
Sure.
So I can't even go back and watch any of them because I was like terrified.
Really, yeah.
But I have a feeling it was so weird when they were trying to like talk and ask questions in the very beginning. It almost sounded like because they knew and the producers knew that I hadn't been planning on doing the show at first.
Yeah.
And they keep asking questions, that they watched the videos because they were talking about the cracks and the rasp. And I'm like, I didn't do that in this audition. Like, I was too scared. Like, I know how I sang. And they were like pointing out these little things that I do. And I'm like, I feel like they have something or they've watched the videos prior.
Yeah. Okay.
So off track, but I was just thinking about why I wasn't like as nervous. But like vocally, I was nervous.
Yeah. And, you know, you talk about, you know, you kind of grew up singing a little bit. How did you never sing in front of your mom until you were 19? Did you not like think that you were that good or something?
Well, okay, so I kind of did up until I was like 7 years old.
Okay.
So but I didn't like seriously sing in front of her. It was when I moved to Ohio. I think I was like 8 years old. I completely just stopped. I don't know what happened, but I just like got this horrible stage fright and stopped singing in front of everyone.
Yeah.
I think I was just scared. I don't know. Some childhood trauma. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah. Was it the yodeling did you win a yodeling contest in 4th grade?
Oh my gosh. No.
No.
Okay. Well,
is that
it's funny you say.
You know, I was going to ask you if that was real because I was reading this article about you and I'm like, that sounds fake.
No, it's real.
Oh, it's real. Okay.
But so in the
you could have been Mason Ramsey.
Literally.
Yeah.
I would have loved to do a 2-up with him. No, when I was in the 3rd grade, I had come across this video on America's Got Talent, and it was I think her name was Taylor. I can't remember her last name.
Yeah.
And she
Swift.
yodeled, and I was like, well, not quite, but she is country.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Taylor's not country anymore. But anyway, so I was like, okay, I want to do this. So I learned, and I like studied her. and the school talent show was in 3 days.
Yeah.
And you can't learn how to yodel in 3 days.
That's a quick turnaround.
Yeah, and then I auditioned, and it was in front of a ton of people.
Yeah.
Like people like in my class and everything, and I did not make it. So I did not get to do the talent show.
We need to update that article because it says that you won.
Yeah, I don't know why it says that. I make it very obvious that I did not even make the talent show.
Audition for a talent show doing yodeling.
I'm glad that they probably knew I was going to get made fun of.
But have you worked? But have you worked on your yodeling since? That'd be an awesome track just to throw down like a bonus track.
Not anymore, but like I went along for it probably for like 2 years after, and I think it really helped me with some of like my vocal stuff now. Like I'm not gonna lie, like the training really helps.
Yeah, you and Mason Ramsey, I'll tell you what, that could be a hot yodeling duo.
He's a G.
He is a G, an OG, and now it's like weird that he's not even that old, and it's like it's kind of wild to watch his career go from what it is.
How old is he now?
I think he's like probably 15.
Oh my gosh.
He's 15, probably something.
I still think of him as like 9 or 10.
He might even be like a little older because he does this thing like a giveaway of like people can take him to prom.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he's definitely
that's kind of cute.
Prom age, right? Yeah, yeah.
I'd take Mason to prom.
Yeah, like I got Mason.
Actually,
Ramsey
wait, that might be. Never mind.
Well, no. Well, first off, you're not in high school any longer. Hypothetically, when you're 18 or 17, you'd be taking the 15-year-old. How's that?
Yeah. Yes.
A little automatic PR
That's a
for
better
you.
way to
But I want to know a little bit about like the ins and outs of American Idol, because I know. So we'll talk about your TikTok career in a second, but that's kind of where they found you, and then so reach out to you. The first time you sing isn't in front of Lionel, the 3 main judges. Do they kind of give you through a process, or was it?
Yeah, no, they do. Usually it's in person, but this time it was over Zoom.
Okay, because it was.
Thank God for me, because I was already terrified from singing in front of anyone. But we did, I think, like 3 Zoom rounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So like with producers and.
Yeah, first it's casting agents, and then they take you to, I think, the producers and then the execs.
Okay.
And then the execs decide, and then you go and do it in front of the judges.
Who's your favorite judge?
Oh, geez. Genuinely, I don't know. Because, like, Luke was really funny, and he complimented my hair when I got it dyed, not when it was blonde. So I was like, okay, Luke, if you want to wipe me up, just say it.
Hee-haw.
That's funny. But, like, Katie was, like, she was great. She would come into the rehearsals and stuff and, like, just, like, be really sweet. And she gave me really good, like, actual advice. Not just, like, just breathe, just do that. No, she gave me, like, vocal, like, advice and, like, how to, like, kind of stand out and everything.
Sure.
And then Lionel was like a little like dad grandpa thing.
Totally.
I just wanted to pinch his little cheeks. He's so cute.
That's funny. And so like when you come in, what do you do like right after because you got the golden ticket? Sorry for anyone, spoiler alert, but I mean you ended up getting 24th. So right after, you the first initial thing, where do you kind of go from there, and you just kind of thrust into this TV show? Yeah,
no, exactly. You get the ticket, and then you go off and you do a bunch of other interviews right after. And then I think the next day, if you stay, you do more interviews the day after.
Okay.
Like BTS and like B-roll and all that. And then you go home for a few days. They tell you what's next. You pack your bags. You go to that location.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, being 19 years old, you like just graduated high school at the time, of doing this. I mean, what was it? I mean, what was going through your mind as you're like thrust into like kind of the national spotlight, and especially during COVID too, of like a lot of people are watching that show because people couldn't leave our homes.
Yeah. I was grateful because even though like I worked in real estate and I wanted to be a realtor since I was in first grade.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna go to CSU and I'll major in business, minor in marketing. And I just knew I wasn't really happy with it. So, and I knew I wanted to sing. Like, I always knew that, but it was kind of embarrassing and sounded cheesy to tell people that when, like, no one really takes you serious until you actually are doing something with it. So I kind of was just really grateful that I was like, okay, now I don't have to do, like, business and marketing, and I can do what I want to do, and people will take me seriously, and I don't have to feel weird about it.
Yeah, there is something to be said about, like, when you find that when you break down the barrier of being like, all right, I don't care if I look stupid.
Yeah.
I don't really care what other people think about me. And then, because, you know, I'm sure you would have been a great realtor. You're super personable and things like that, but I don't think that's exactly what you were meant to do, especially like at this moment in time.
Yeah.
You were probably holding on to like, I have this talent. I have this probably at the time secret passion to do this. And then kind of went for it and found happiness in that.
Exactly, and I kind of always knew, like I would post videos of me doing weird stuff all the time, and I'm always like, it was crazy. So I'm like, it's not that out of pocket for me to go and do this. Like, why am I caring? I never care about what people think of me. Why am I caring now?
Sure.
Like, so then once I was just like, whatever, and just went for it, now I just don't care.
Yeah.
It's like this boundary just lifts up, or not boundary, I guess wall.
Yeah.
That kind of just like
barrier
like lifts up, and now it's like comments, anything like that. It just doesn't faze me. I'm just like, I'm happy. So
sure, and you know, with I'm sure a lot of it is amazing things that people say about you, but having like 1.3 million followers, I'm sure that there's some hate. How do you deal with that?
So basically, I always think of it as like either they're really young and they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Number 2, if you can't take opinions, don't be in this industry.
Yeah.
And then number 3, if they're going through something and they need to drop something on your account just to like, like let something go, I would rather them do that on my page than another 7-year-old that like can't handle that kind of thing. Those are mainly kind of what I think about. And also, if they're just dropping like a hate comment and they keep going, if they don't like the video, they're not going to go back and watch it just to be like upset with the video 24/7.
Yeah.
If they like it, that's one thing. But if they don't, it's not that deep.
Yeah.
It's just like not.
Oh.
I don't know. I know,
it's not worth it. It's not worth it at some point.
It's not worth that spiral of thinking like, oh, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And there's so many reasons why they could be acting like that, and all of them are just like, what are you going to do?
Sure. And
that's their problem, not mine.
What I do love is that you've built this career on TikTok and have been, managing and have leveraged it out of just being a TikTok singer. But, you were saying that, you didn't even sing in front of your mom until you were like 19 or something like that, What was it like posting that first cover, the first time singing on TikTok? Were you kind of just like, and just and sent it, or were you cool?
No, I was definitely anxious. I did it in 7th grade on Twitter.
Okay.
And like it did pretty well for Twitter.
Did it? Yeah.
It was okay. It was Skinny Love, and I did like the birdie version.
Okay.
So then I just decided to repost that one on TikTok. So I did that, and then it was the You Broke Me First one, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm balancing a shelf on my head while singing. This is gonna be weird, but I'm just gonna do it because weird is doing well for other people.
Sure.
So then I did it, and I was anxious, but I was like, oh.
Now, was that the first one that really blew up?
Yeah, I think it was that one. Was it Bruises by Louis Capaldi? I think it was Bruises, and that did like pretty well, and then it was You Broke Me First that ended up doing like.
How many had you posted before you got one that was viral or over 100,000 views or something?
I think like 7.
Well, okay.
7 or 8.
Yeah, because I feel sometimes people post one video and they're like, oh, I didn't get 1 million views or something like that. But you kind of kept at it. So like this was something that you were clearly wanting to do.
I think those are just singing videos though. It was like 7 or 8 for the singing ones, and the other videos were just like my dog.
What kind of dog do you have?
I don't know. They say he's
He's got 4 legs. I don't know.
He's a rescue.
Okay.
So there's that, but when I get him groomed, they say he's a Havanese.
Sure.
So it's your typical curly-haired small dog.
Okay.
Yeah, my next one's going to be a big bear dog.
A big bear dog?
But I want to rescue it, so I need to find something that
we got the Cleveland APL right here. I'll tell you what. Yeah.
I'll go there after this.
Absolutely. And speaking of Cleveland, you got your new single out. Rightfully called Cleveland.
Yeah.
It's a great. I have a question about it before we get into the song. Who is Julia, and why is she such a psycho? Because you sing about that in the first 2 lines.
Julia.
I'm like, look at this girl.
I love Julia. Okay, Julia is one of my best friends, and she has one of the biggest personalities that I know.
Yeah.
So when I hang out
she's
with
obnoxious
her,
a little bit.
She's awesome. She's so nice, genuinely, and I'm not even just trying to hype her up because we're on a podcast, where I don't want to talk about her. Stuff about her.
You're good.
But literally, she's just one of a kind, and we were going through names for the songs, and I was like, okay, this is perfect for Julia.
Yeah.
Because she is just like psycho in the most beautiful way.
Yeah.
Like beautiful personality. I'm like, if there's gonna be someone's name in this song to show like a highlight of my life, it's gonna be Julia.
Yeah.
Because she is a highlight of my life.
Was it ever going to be called Julia as a Psycho, or was it just going to be called Always Cleveland?
No, because then people might think that I'm saying like Julia's like mentally a psycho, but
Sure,
it's like it's more like of a sarcastic thing of, oh, screw you, Julia, getting drunk without me. She's psycho. Like she's, she's whack.
And, like moving to LA and, being in Nashville, was that kind of a hard thing for seeing a lot of your hometown Cleveland friends having fun here? Or was that maybe kind of added into the homesickness that you might have had?
Like FOMO?
A little FOMO, yeah. I'm a big FOMO guy.
Yeah. I used to get FOMO, but I think my friend group, honestly, is so, like, good about keeping in touch. And, like, we all feel so secure together.
Yeah.
We don't really, like, we miss each other, but we know, like, we're all missing each other when we go out. Or sometimes I think it's like, oh, they're forgetting about me with FOMO or something. But literally, they'll call me.
Yeah.
When they're out, or they'll text, or they'll be like, they're so good about when I'm gone.
Sure.
That I'm like, it was a little, I miss them, of course.
Sure, yeah. Shout out GroupMe. I'm a big GroupMe guy.
GroupMe?
Yeah.
What's GroupMe?
Yeah. It's where you have a group chat with people. It's an app. Am I old? Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's like WhatsApp. It's like WhatsApp.
Oh, I want GroupMe. Like Kick. Do you remember Kick?
I don't know. I don't think I had Kick. What is Kick?
Kick was like a messaging thing too. When we were in like middle school.
Yeah.
And you literally, the conversations would be like, it's usually you, and then like, say you think a guy is like cute at your school. You're like, hi, what's up? Nothing. How about you? Nothing. Cool. What's up now? Like literally, they were so dry.
So it was like instant messaging.
Yeah.
But you like
message, but the like conversations were always so dry because there's always like really young middle schoolers who didn't know,
who were like terrified to talk to girls and vice versa.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I'm a little older than you. Well, you're 22?
Yeah.
I'm 31.
Okay.
So I graduated high school in 2011, and I can remember like getting on AOL Instant Messenger. Like you'd have like your screen name. Yeah, your eyes are glossing over right now. And yeah, it was kind of the same thing, but you couldn't do it on your phone because you had to go home, and you're just looking. You were like, oh, you're so freaking old. But
no,
we're moving on.
No.
Yeah.
You're not old.
But I want to hear about the inspiration for the song Cleveland, because that was like the first song that I heard from you. I was like, this chick has some pipes.
Thank you.
And also, it's called Cleveland. I live in Cleveland. I love Cleveland.
Yeah. I'm glad you like Cleveland. I went into a session, and I was having a really hard time traveling back and forth. I'm like, the adjustment period was just kind of tough. Although, because it's hard to be so grateful, and then you feel guilty when you're upset when you have such a great opportunity. Mm-hmm. But the truth of the matter is you're traveling back and forth. Like, it's a big toll on your like sleep schedule when you don't live there. And then like just the whole thing, getting adjusted to like then social media and like posting, and it's very different. So for me, I was like, I just want to be home with my family, because right now in California or in Nashville, I'm just so stressed out, and I don't know why, but it was just taking such a toll on me. And I'm like, you know what? I felt so comfortable with the writers and the producers in the room, and I'm like, I need something emotional, and I need to just get out how I miss Cleveland.
Yeah.
And I just need a homesick song, because I've been feeling this way for however long I was.
Sure.
And then now it's so weird to think I wrote that song like 8 months ago, and I'm in a completely different place.
Yeah.
It was just like 4 months of just like, I don't know how I'm going to get adjusted to this.
Sure. Yeah. And how were you able to kind of get adjusted to this? Because we're talking that this is 8 months ago that you wrote this.
Yeah, I am huge on routines. I have the same routine, and
Tell us your routine. What do you got?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wake up, I make my bed.
Do you have a specific time you wake up?
That varies.
Okay.
That varies, but usually I like to wake up in between like 8 to 9:30.
Okay.
Like that's like kind of like the time
Sure.
frame. But I wake up, and this is actually newly added to the routine. There's like this app that I use, and it tracks how you're feeling, like da-da-da-da, like today's gonna be a great day, why, like all that. And I make my bed.
A digital journal.
Yeah, exactly. I do that, and then I do a morning workout. Usually it's a smaller workout, because then I look at my calendar, do everything I need to do during the day, and then at night I usually go for a run.
Okay.
And I do like my
Look
actual
at you
big
doing
workout.
2-a-days.
Well,
My goodness.
the morning one is just to wake me up. So it's more like stretching and just like at home Pilates kind of workouts.
For sure.
And then after that it's just to wake my brain up.
Yeah.
But I built this routine so that I could have it travel with me to whatever state I'm going to be in.
Yeah.
So when I walk or I run, I can do that in another state. And like in the morning routine, like I can do that. Or like going on my phone on the app, like stuff like that. Just keeping, just keeping in check.
And why have you continued to do that? You know, I've kind of gotten away from a routine because my like sleep schedule is like all over the place. But like, I do obviously see the benefit of doing it. You know, being a creature of habit.
I don't think it's a bad. Like, I think routines are for some people, and sometimes it's not, and that's totally okay. Like, not everybody like likes them. Because with me, I know that sometimes I can't get my full day routine in. So as long as I wake up, I make my bed. Yeah. And then I like just go on a walk. Depending on, or at least a run, I'm happy. And then like just keeping that, I don't know how that's helped me, but it has. Yeah. Because then my brain is constantly thinking about like, oh, I'm so glad I got XYZ done today, being in a different state.
Totally. Yeah. And so when you're kind of going back and forth from LA to Cleveland right now, is there like a tour on board? Have you kind of gone and played obviously other places and things like that? I've seen you play in New York, right? I mean, what is kind of that looking like, and is it going to pick up at some point? Yeah, so we just did the Jake tour for a few shows, and then I've been doing shows here and there. And then I'm actually going to do, I think we're announcing this week, so I feel like it's fine. Whoa, breaking news. Let's rock. This won't be released for 2 weeks. So okay. Yeah, you're good. Perfect. Yeah. Breaking news, everyone. I'm going to be opening for Knox, who's also an Atlantic artist. Nice. And who's also written on some of my songs right when I started. Like some of my first sessions, like Don't Call Me, Traffic, Love Fools. Oh, no. Just kidding, Knox. I don't think you were on Love Fools, but you are on like a lot of Knox. Sorry, Knox. But he's a great friend of mine, so we're gonna go and do East Coast. Awesome. So tour. Like, where are you going to? That's a good question. Yeah. I think like New York, Columbus, maybe Chicago, something like that. Chicago's Midwest, but yeah. Stop. Okay, this is why I need to go back to college. Don't drop out, kids. Just don't. Even though that's like elementary stuff. Well, so being from Illinois, now living in Ohio, and this isn't poo-pooing on people from Ohio, but they literally, my wife's from here. Poo-pooing. They. My wife specifically, but then I've also had this conversation with multiple people. Mainly because I went to, it's like people from Ohio know East Coast. Yeah. Ohio, they have an idea that Indiana's next to them. Michigan, and then it's like Denver, Las Vegas, and then California. And like that is like Ohio geography. Yeah, and I think of Texas though too. And Texas as well. So I went to University of Iowa, and people are like, "You went to Wyoming?" And I was like, "No, I went to Iowa. It's not that far from here." I feel like if people live in another state, they all think Wyoming, Iowa, Ohio, like all those kind of places are the same place. If you're thinking like, Wyoming and Ohio are the same place, you legitimately need to look at a globe. And I feel like they just think of the same things. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like cornfields and stuff. When it's clearly not. I mean, we have them, but like Cleveland? I mean, we have the Flats. We got the Flats? That place is so fun. Yeah. Get on your Cleveland soapbox. Well, let's rock and roll. What's your favorite things about Cleveland? Okay, so besides your song. Yeah. I like the Browns game. Bam. Love have you tailgating. Been to one this year? No. Okay. Oh wait, yes I have. Yes I have. Yeah, you just had that much fun. Oh no, you know what? I only went to the tailgating. I didn't go to the game. Okay. Because we went to Barley House after. Are you a Muni Lot tailgater or are you a West 6th tailgater? I've done both. Oh, look at you. Yeah. I think we did both that day. What do you like better, when I'm with my family, it's the Lot, and then when I'm with my friends, it's West 6th. You're like your parents Muni Lot tailgate? Yeah. They're hardcore. Yeah. Well, my stepdad mainly. Okay. Yeah, he loves the Browns. So, yeah, I would say that. I guess Willoughby isn't in Cleveland, but I do love Willoughby. Well, here's a question for you, and this is a hot topic. Yeah. Especially, so people that live in Cleveland, born and raised in Cleveland, they're like, I'm from Cleveland. I'm more in the camp, and like no one else can say you're from Cleveland. It's like, okay, like I get it. Yeah. But I mean, Willoughby, unless you're like, I'm going to put the threshold at 40 minutes. Yeah. If you're from Akron, you can't say you're from Cleveland. Yeah. You know? Okay, I do agree with that with Akron, because Akron and Cleveland, because Akron is so popular too. Sure. Yeah. And people love saying like not love saying they're from like I don't know why I said it like that, but sorry. But like when they're like, oh, I'm from Akron or I'm from Canton, like I don't consider that Cleveland, because I think because there's big colleges over there also, where it separates. And they're big enough cities as well.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
I grew up in Rockford, Illinois. I'm 60 miles northwest of Chicago.
Okay.
If I was in Illinois and people are like, where are you from? I'm from Rockford. If I was
Yeah.
anywhere outside of Illinois or the realm of people thinking that they knew where Rockford was, I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm from Chicago,
Yeah.
just to make it easy.
Yeah.
But in no
Yeah.
way did I ever claim that I was from Chicago because it's kind of the same deal in Chicago. It's like, unless you grew up, it's like they don't even take suburbs into account. It's like Chicago and that's it.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same deal here.
No, yeah, because I grew up in Willoughby and then also in Solon, but then I lived in Cleveland during college, and then even not when I was in college and had my own apartment, I lived like down here.
Okay.
So it's about 15 minutes out, 20 minutes out. So it's kind of, well, Solon's like 15, Willoughby's like 20.
Yeah, something like
25,
that.
something, yeah, around there, depending on where you're coming, what part of Cleveland you're coming into.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I kind of just say I'm from Cleveland.
Why not?
To make it easy.
Yeah, make it easy.
I mean, can I just say I'm from all three? I like that. That way, no other cities.
You're from Northeast Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
bada
good.
bing, bada boom.
There we go.
Where,
Bing, bada boom. I'm gonna start saying that.
so you went to Willoughby East Lake?
Yeah, Willoughby South.
What were you like in high school?
Crazy.
Really?
Yeah, there's
Popular?
a lot of videos. I don't know. I think it was like I had a bunch of different friend groups.
Okay.
It wasn't like I was in like because my high school definitely had cliques, but I had like 2 main friend groups, I'd say, but I was okay with hanging out with everybody else.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, but I was crazy.
And like, obviously you didn't sing in high school?
No.
So when you had all your high school friends, like, did you like sing at parties or anything like that? As like a party trick and be like, hey, Mary Jo's a pretty good singer, or you just like, did they just one day see you on American Idol? They're like, what the hell?
I don't know. Well, that's when I think it was senior year when I posted my first video on Twitter, so people kind of knew. But I think it was when I was singing at my house and my windows were open, and my 2 friends, Maya Matriano and Sarah Cosentino, were about to come over, and they were in walking distance, so they walked and my windows were open, so they heard. And then they walked in, they were like, oh my gosh, you can sing, da 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 da. So then it was like known but not known that I sang,
Sure.
I would say.
Okay.
It wasn't a big deal. It wasn't my personality trait. Like it was just a little, or my whole personality.
Now look at you. Yeah.
That's like, oh, the singer girl from the world. Yeah.
So you've had a bunch of like singles released.
Yeah.
The most recent being Cleveland, and super success on Spotify. I mean, one has over 1 million plays, and the other ones are in the high 200,000s. I mean, for just not even releasing an album. Is there an EP coming out? Is there an album coming out that we can look forward to?
We're going to do a couple more singles, I think. Or we're doing one more single, and then we're packaging up, I think, an EP album thing. I don't know. We have a lot of songs. I'm like kind of not rebranding, but I'm starting to go pop rock.
Are you?
So after the next song, it's going to be more like, just more upbeat, kind of like more Don't Call Me's kind of vibes.
Sure. Yeah. And because the other one, you have a lot of ballads.
Yeah, and I think I've just kind of, like, I love them, don't get me wrong, like, I love recording ballads, but now it's so much more fun now that I found my sound for upbeat songs.
Sure.
Like that Kelly Clarkson, modern, edgier vibe.
What is a little? I hear a little Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Like it's like a mix between her and Julia Michaels.
Thank you. I love Julia Michaels.
Do you?
Yeah.
Good. Nailed it right in the head. She's pretty unbelievable.
She really is.
Yeah. What was it? And what has the process been like for you to getting into this business, having a lot of people around you, probably a lot of voices thrown at you too, being with Atlantic and, being signed with also American Idol and writers and being young too. What has the process been like for you to find that sound that is catchy or that will sell records, but also staying true to what you want to say and the sound that you want to still have?
They have been, and I'm not saying this because I have to, but they have literally been so incredible working with me.
Sure.
And I think I already knew what sound I kind of wanted, and the A&Rs also were in the same boat. Like, we all knew kind of what I was going to be. We all had the same vision of the sound of everything. And my A&R, Adam and Aton and Colby, like, they've really helped me kind of find how to do it.
Yeah.
Was that the question?
You nailed it.
Okay. Yeah.
No, but you've had a lot of support.
Yeah, and no.
And they've also kind of let you do your thing. They're not like put on a wig, dye your hair, wear this outfit. Yeah. They're kind of letting you do your vibe.
Yeah, there's no pressure. Like, I mean, there's pressure, of course, but like in a healthy way.
Yeah.
They've just really kind of helped me find a sound that I enjoy and everybody else will, and something that I want to create, and it just makes me want to work harder and harder because now I'm excited about just everything.
Yeah, you brought up pressure, and pressure's good sometimes, as long as it doesn't consume you.
Yeah.
What are you feeling the most pressure about right now? Because a lot of pressure, too, is I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to do this.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things in my life that if I don't feel a little bit of pressure, it's like it's either not worth it or I'm not excited about it. I mean, what are those things that you're feeling pressure about right now?
I think probably just... I don't know. I don't think I really have a bunch of probably the move. Honestly, I think that's the only thing I feel kind of because right now the industry kind of shuts down around January. You don't do a lot of sessions, and now I have like all these ideas and like I want to get these songs out, but everyone's coming out with their holiday songs, so I have to wait to release the next one until after the holidays.
And your first album can't be a holiday album.
Yeah, and I'm like, so I guess I feel a pressure about that. It's kind of just. It's more like impatient, I guess, and I want to tease the song, I want to do this, I want to do that, and it's not in the books yet. Like, I can't until a certain time.
Yeah, well, I mean, clearly you're very driven. Where does that drive come for to continue to strive to be the best?
I think it's just something I'm really passionate about.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely, love what I do, and I feel so strongly about it, and I think there's this natural drive where I don't even really look at it that way because I'm just so excited to keep doing it.
Sure. Yeah.
That makes sense.
What was the moment?
And I want to be successful. Like if I'm doing this thing, then I need to do it. Like there's no half. Sorry.
No.
There's no half doing.
There's no half butting it.
Yeah. That's better.
What was the moment that you were like, I am gonna leave CSU. I'm going to stop pursuing real estate. I'm all in on this. Was it American Idol or was it a little bit after American Idol?
It was probably after the first 2 TikTok videos. And once I started getting calls from different TV shows. Because then I was like, okay, I'm doing it. I'm all in. And I still worked in real estate a little bit while being on Idol and stuff because I could do it from home. Because I wasn't a realtor, I was an inside sales associate. I was one of those people that call you. I was a cold caller.
Sure. Yeah. Looks like you're looking for a house there, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
That's exactly what I did. Yeah, so it's probably around there.
Sure. So, I mean, it was like one of those things where it's like, let's rock and roll. Let's do it.
I was
quite literally, let's rock and roll.
Yeah. I was like, if I'm doing this and I just started college, I'm going to do it now and not wait.
Sure. When you're, 22 right now, looking at, the super, competitive industry that you're breaking into currently. Looking back, whose career would you want to have? Look at that and be like, I would love to have that kind of career or something like that. And I don't it's not like a comparative thing, but something like that.
That's good. That's a good question. I want to say Taylor Swift, but that's just because and not only because she's so successful, but I noticed she got to do a bunch of things. She was in movies, and she also. Then she sang, and then she did tours, and she went through that whole process of her artistry changing. Yeah. I just think she's had an amazing career. I wish I could think of,
But also, too, talking about being a writer, there's no better writer than Taylor Swift.
She's an incredible writer. She's an incredible writer. And it's kind of yes, I want to be, that's my main thing is singing and being an artist and a writer. Yeah. But I think it'd be really fun to kind of just do everything.
Sure.
Like Emma Chamberlain. If you were to take Emma Chamberlain and then add her as a singer, I think has an amazing career too.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah. I won't do interviews like her or you because I can't interview people for the life of me. My vocabulary needs to expand.
Well, we'll get you some online courses from CSU.
That sounds good. I'll do those when I'm on tour.
You're doing phenomenal. Yeah, no, you're doing phenomenal. So where I got some quick hitters for you.
Yeah.
Dream venue to play at?
Madison Square Garden.
Bam. Shoot for the moon.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah. You're going to be a headliner one day.
Thank you.
But I don't want to put it all the way there yet. Who is your dream opener, like that you would open up for?
Julia Michaels.
Julia Michaels. Look at you go. Yeah, yeah. All right, this is a Cleveland edition. Kill, like, or marry. Pierogies, corned beef sandwich, Polish boy sandwich.
What's a Polish boy sandwich?
It's a Cleveland sandwich. It's got like
what? Now I feel like a freaking. Okay,
it's got
right
kielbasa. Wait, we'll cut that. We'll cut that. We'll cut that.
Okay.
Say,
okay.
Or a Polish boy sandwich.
Okay, I'm gonna marry Polish boy sandwich.
The one that you don't know. Okay, go on. Yeah.
I like kielbasa, and then I'll kill the corned beef one.
Okay.
Oh, I hate killing. I don't want to kill it. And wait, kill. What were the other ones?
Kill, love, or marry.
Oh, and I love pierogies. Pierogies are so fun.
They are awesome.
Yeah, my friend Amelia loves pierogies.
Shout out Amelia.
Yeah.
Shout out her. And shout out Julia. Also, kill, like, marry, Browns, Guardians, Cavs. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, I like the Guardians. No, I'll kill. Wait. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I sound dramatic. I'll kill the Guardians.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'll marry the Browns, and I'll like the Cavs.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a decent
I
choice.
think that, yeah.
Yeah. You're going to marry someone as dysfunctional as the Cleveland Browns?
I just think, they can do really well sometimes. They can do really bad sometimes. Well, no, they're always great. But
Yeah, that 0-16 season was a real good one.
But it's always exciting because I think people are so, no matter what, they have so much support.
Yeah.
And it's like, even if they do poorly sometimes, it's like, it's okay. And when they do great, they have a huge amount of support. No matter what, everyone's just so excited for them all the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they are excited for all the sports, but I don't know. I just
There's
love
something
watching them. There's so much love for the Browns.
I love baseball, so I love the Guardians, but there is something that hits different with Browns Sundays and game days. I mean, it's like a holiday.
Yeah, and Kevin Stefanski is so hot.
Get the silver fox over here for Mary Jo. My goodness, I think he's taken though. Unfortunately,
He has a wife.
He is a.
Sorry.
I can say this in a very straight way. He's a very good-looking man.
Yeah.
He is a very good-looking man. Yeah. Wrapping up here, one of the things is that you have a public life. You are, all these people know you from TikTok and Instagram, or they know you from American Idol. How would you describe yourself and who Mary Jo is?
I would say I'm just kind of living life and enjoying the journey, but being self-aware while doing it. Because if you're not self-aware, then you don't know what you're doing. And I don't know, just enjoying everything. I think even the bad parts. I think life is kind of short, and just trying to enjoy it as much as I can and do as much as I can, because I don't know what's next.
Sure.
Or after.
Yeah.
That's deep, but
Carpe diem.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I have that tattooed on my back.
Do you really?
Yep.
Look at us go. We also found out that our favorite flavor of I don't want to give them. I'll say it's Celsius. Sponsor is Celsius. Is orange.
It is. It is. I think it's okay to sponsor Celsius. My manager was just reaching out to them.
They need to sponsor us.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Celsius,
Sponsor us.
We really like your orange flavors. Send us a lot of free ones. Please.
Mary Jo, thank you so much for coming on. I mean, I couldn't have been. I'm so thankful and grateful for you to come on.
Thank you for having me.
Real quick, where can people follow you? And also, just real quick, what is coming up next? What can we see next from you? When is it going to be out? When can we be on the lookout for it?
So tours we're gonna announce in we've already announced it by the time this comes out.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, music, probably January, a little bit, January 6th-ish.
Okay.
I don't know, that's so rough. And then Mary Jo, Young is where you can follow me.
Lovely. I'm assuming Joe is your middle name.
Josephine. It's Mary Josephine Young, but I'm going to change it on the certificate.
Are you? To Mary Jo?
Yeah, because no one calls me Mary.
Are you going to put it? Are you going to put it all in lowercase letters too?
I see what you did there. Yes, I am.
All right. Lovely. All right, Mary Jo. Anything else you want to get off your chest?
No.
No. She's done with me. She's done.
No.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Bam.
How awkward would it be if I missed your high five?
That'd be great. That'd be good. Yeah.